It wasn't just in arcades where icons like Pac-Man had thrived. From music to cartoons and other merchandise, one of gaming's most popular icons from the 1980s had his mug on just about every kind of product you could imagine. In 1982, Milton Bradly jumped on the Waka Waka bandwagon by licensing the rights to create a new product featuring Pac-Man, the Ghosts, and the addictive gameplay that hooked players in arcades the world over. The Pac-Man Board Game, released a few years after the original arcade game took the world by storm, features colorful artwork that any kid who played the arcade game would immediately recognize. This haunting image of Pac-Man running after and chomping these innocent-looking ghosts is certainly eye-catching, though it really makes old Packy look like the aggressor here. Who's to say these games couldn't have a little bit of a twist? With the box pitching it as being as much fun as the arcade game, the Pac-Man board game does have a lot to live up to, since the video game is such a simple pleasure. But how do you transfer that addictive gameplay into a board game where you have to rely on other players and yourself, rather than a computer to help you move the game forward? A recreation of a maze from the arcade game serves as the board, with the ghost house in the middle, starting points for the players, and several holes that serve as spaces. There's not a lot in terms of pieces for the Pac-Man board game, but the game does include 2 dice, 2 ghost monsters, 4 Pac-Men of different colors in corresponding bins, and of course, a giant stack of marbles. You set the game up by placing a marble in each hole. These serve as the Pac dots from the arcade game, and really that's all you need to set up before you can get playing. There are 4 different colors of Pac-Men to choose from, and they all have these horrifying sharp teeth, as if Pac-Man and a piranha decided to create some freakish offspring. The teeth are kinda just for show, but each game piece actually moves. As players move their Pac around the board, they can make their Pac-Man actually eat each marble they pass over. My classic yellow Pac here is missing his lower jaw, but the other pieces all work great, and though there's something satisfying about the sound when you eat the pellets, it does of course take time to perform. At the end of their turn, players empty Pac-Man's stomach into their bin. This is your score. But just because you've consumed those marbles doesn't mean those points will always be yours. I'll explain. While each player controls a Pac, they also control both of the ghost monsters, who begin the game in the ghost house in the center of the board. During their turn, the player rolls both dice, and they can move their Pac-Man the value of one of the dice rolled, and then one of the ghosts the value of the other. The ghost monsters, of course, are the natural predator of Pacs, and each player's goal is to try to get the ghost closer to the other players while their Pac-Man moves further away. When a ghost lands on a player's Pac, the Pac-Man returns to its starting area and surrenders 2 marbles to the player who was controlling the ghost. But that doesn't mean Pac-Man is helpless. Just as in the arcade game, the power pellets, represented by yellow marbles on orange circles here, give Pac-Man the ability to eat ghosts. Now, while the power lasts until it is used, the first ghost Pac-Man comes across after eating the yellow marble is gobbled up and returned to the ghost house, and the player must stop moving their Pac-Man there. That player may pick any player and take 2 marbles from them, so there's always chances to win more marbles than you may have gotten the opportunity to eat on the board. Once all the white dots are eaten, the game is over. The player with the most pellets, of course, is the winner, and the game can be reset and played again fairly quickly just by placing the marbles back in their places. While the fact that the pieces can eat the marbles is kinda cute, they do slow things down a little bit for the game, but its inclusion is a nice nod to the arcade game, rather than just having the dots on the board. I'd hesitate to say this is a board game everyone who's enjoyed Pac-Man should rush out and get, but it can be fun to break it out with your friends for a quick game between some other, more engaging titles. I think Milton Bradly did a really good job capturing the Pac-Man charm, with the board resembling the maze quite well, and the general rules of the game are a natural translation from arcade to coffee table. While the sharp teeth on the Pacs can be a little weird, they're still kind of fun to mess with. There are several other video game board games out there, some are even being made today, but this is one that seems just a little bit closer to its source material than others I've heard of. And I think it's not only a testament to the creative minds at Milton Bradly, but also thanks to the simple and fun gameplay of the original Pac-Man.